All right, Shalom. This is Brother Gabar of the Lions Den Camp. And before I hop into this lesson, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to the Most High and their true Paleo Hebrew names and in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. So, Ka Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Ha Rakah Kodash Ma'amah, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, double honors to my elder as well, Harawan. And Shalom to you, brothers and sisters, pushing and keeping this truth and faith and sincerity into the end, man. All right. And as you can see, the title of this lesson is "So that thy children shall not see hell." Right, and I'm just doing this lesson, going into how basically the best thing you can do, for your household, for your children, is teach them this truth, man. Teach them who the Lord is. Teach them His word, and set their foot to this path of walking in this truth, man. That's the best that's the best thing you can give your children. That's the best defense you can give your children, because all hell finna break loose in this place, man. And it's a man's duty to lead and guide and protect his household, But the best way you're gonna protect your household and your children is bringing them up in this truth, man. Making sure they have the Lord's name, making sure they had that understanding, and not only understanding, but that faith, within those names and the things of these scriptures, man. And they're learned in this truth, and are walking and living accordingly. So I just wanted to get a few scriptures. And the first one is coming out of the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, and I'm starting at verse 25. And it says, "Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet." All right, and is earthly nourishment, the milk, the food, so on and so forth. But that spiritual nourishment is, the milk, and the meat, if they can get it, if they're at that age where they can, But just that nourishment is the word in general, man. The knowledge and wisdom of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The things of these scriptures, man. That spiritual nourishment. So it says, "Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse. Establish their feet." Right? Establish their feet in this truth, man. Establish their feet, on that straight and narrow path, man. That path leading into the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, salvation. And it says, "As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall none of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number." Right? So none of the Lord's servants are going to perish, man, including the children, those that sincerely believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and who have been, brought up in this truth and have had their feet established on this path, man, that path to salvation. It says, verse 27, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance." All right, so be not weary. And it says, "For when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh." So it doesn't say if the day of troubleness and heaviness cometh. It says when, because like I said, all hell is about to break loose in this place, man. And if you got a family, man, of course, yourself too, but typically, a man put a man puts himself last, and put his family first. So one of your main concerns, man, might be your family, man. Yourself first, because you got to make sure, you strong in the spirit, and, you stand strong to lead and guide them, But among that, man, your one of your top concerns is gonna be your family, man. Your children, making sure they safe, making sure they taken care of. Making sure they abiding in this truth. Abiding in the faith. Remaining spiritual when that day of trouble and heaviness cometh. Because hey, the scripture tell you, man, grown men shall travail like women with child, man. Grown men gonna be out here, crying out like women in labor. So imagine a child. That'd be a fearful thing for a child as well, right? But as long as they got that spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures, man, a little child, you know, will be more stable and grounded, you know, than a grown man or a grown woman who does not have this truth and that does not have the Spirit of the Lord. Right? So it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, right? Because, man, 2/3 in these other nations, man, are going to be out here weeping and sorrowful, man. Not only them, but their children, man. You know, because of lack of food, lack of bread, lack of water, you know, persecution, you know, just turmoil, man. All hell breaking loose in this place. But it says, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, right? That hopeful elect, you know, and their households, their families, man, shall be merry in that day. You know, we going to be in that fire as well. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord's going to have that hedge of protection around us, man. You know, to where we not, you know, like we in the fire, but we're not feeling the flames, man. Just like the three brothers who was thrown into the fiery furnace, you know. So we're gonna be merry in that day, one, because we know, hey, this is all the Lord's will. We know these prophecies and these things have to happen in order for us to receive salvation, right? And two, we're gonna be merry because, hey, man, we literally gonna be seeing, as we see it now, we're gonna be seeing Esau's kingdom falling, man. You know, and we know that after that is salvation, man. You know, we know the Lord is coming. All right, it says, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, right? So when it's a famine of this and this and that, man, the Lord's people, that hopeful elect in the 1/3 are gonna have abundance, man. They're gonna have the things that they need and desire, man, in that day. You know, their families, their households, you know. And it says, verse 28, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord, man. Man, so the Lord is gonna see Salakia, the heathen, you know, 2/3 of our people in these other nations, man, they're gonna see the Lord's elect. You know what I'm saying? The men, women, and children, man, that set number being protected, man. You know, they're gonna see that hedge of protection over our people, man. You know, they're gonna see our people eating in the midst of famine. They're gonna see our people protected in the time of persecution. You know, they're gonna see and ultimately they're gonna see our people you know what I'm saying, saved from that nuclear destruction, man. All right, but it says the heathen shall be Salakia, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord, man. So no matter who is looking at us in envy, man, you know what I'm saying, they shall be able to do nothing against the Lord's hopeful elect, man. You know, in that 1/3, they should be able to do nothing, man. They're not gonna be able to put hands on you. They're not gonna be able to take anything you have, you know, and so on and so forth. Or because it's the Lord that's gonna have the hedge of protection around you, man. You know, His angels bearing you up in their hands, so to speak. Right? And in verse 29, and it says, it's like I'm gonna get 28 again. It says, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Right? Verse 29, the second Esdras chapter 2, it says, my hands shall cover thee. Man, the Lord is going to have his hands, that hedge of protection, his angels, you know what I'm saying, covering the hopeful elect and the women and the children, man. It says, so that thy children shall not see hell. Right? All hell breaking loose on the earth, man. Turmoil here, turmoil there, chaos here, chaos there, and so on and so forth, man. And like I said, we're gonna be in the fire as well, man, but we're not gonna feel those flames per se, right? And it says our children shall not see hell, right? So, and going back to the title, or the topic of the lesson is, you know, the best defense you can give to a child, the best thing you can give to a child in this truth, man, is the truth. Passing this truth, this knowledge and wisdom down to the children, man. You know, teaching them about the Lord. You know, developing that spirit and that faith. You know what I'm saying, within Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. Developing that wisdom and that knowledge of the scriptures within them, man. You know, having them walk on their own 2 feet, when they come to that age, walk on their own 2 feet within this truth, man. Establishing their foot to this path, to righteousness, man, this path to salvation, and ultimately this path to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's the best thing you can do for a child, man. You can buy them toys, you can spend time with them, you can do all these things, but the best thing that you could do for them, man, is pass this truth down to them, man. That's the best protection, that's the best defense that they can have in that day. That day of that day of trouble and heaviness, man. Where the whole earth will be weeping and sorrowful, man, because of the sheer hell that's gonna be on this earth by way of the prophecies, man. I wanted to get one more scripture. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Right? So again, that's one of the best things you could do, for a man or a woman in this truth that has children, man, is train them up in this truth, man. Teach them the ways of the Lord. Teach them who the Lord is. Build up that faith, and that confidence within them, man. To rely on the Lord, to lean on the Lord. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it, man. So, man, if when or if they grow up in this truth, and they have been trained well, by the parents, man, they're not going to depart from the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because a child growing up and everything in their house is righteousness, righteousness, righteousness. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the scriptures, when they leave out that door and see everything else is the opposite, man, they're going to cleave until what they have learned in that household, man, which is who the Lord is, who they are, the law, statutes, and commandments, so on and so forth, man, and keeping that faith within Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, because, they're going to be able to see that the difference between the righteousness that they've been taught and led on in the household versus the wickedness, outside that door. All right, so it says, train up a child in the way he shall go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it, right? And say something happened, to the parents, man, you get captured, you get persecuted, or you lose your life for this truth, man, for the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. If that happens, man, your children will have the necessary tools they need, to keep striving for the Lord, man, to keep walking down this path, and that path being the truth, man, that path to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that path to righteousness. Right? So again, man, the most important thing you can give your child, man, if you're in this truth, is this truth. The knowledge and wisdom and understanding of these scriptures, man, and who the Lord is, and not only who he is, but having faith in who he is, man, and having faith within the knowledge and wisdom of these scriptures, man. That's the most important thing you can do for a child if you're in this truth. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.